Huntsville, another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Hey, good morning, Huntsville, and welcome back in. Back live at it after a little bit of a reprieve yesterday. We want to welcome you in here on a Tuesday. Got a great show lined up. We'll be highlighting that here in just a few moments. But before we get started, let us know what you're thankful for today. A lot of friends already joining us this morning on the social media streams throughout YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And so we're always happy to see you, and thanks for spending your Tuesday. Yes, we are back live. Yesterday, it was Labor Day, and so not much labor on our end, but the bank, Walker County Federal Credit Union, was closed yesterday, and so we had a replay show where we heard back from our friends from CASA, so we hope that you enjoyed that. But it is good to be back live here inside of our studio. Big thank you to Elliott's Jewelers and Elliott Herzlich for sponsoring our studio, and as always, Paul Alley of the Gallery for all of your custom photography, framing, and more. Visit Paul over here at the Gallery. Also on a Tuesday, wouldn't be able to bring you this show, and even though he's not here with me in person, all the way from Goodyear, Arizona, none other than Jason Thompson joining us. Jason, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm just happy to be here.
Hey, it's good to see you. I was asking earlier, you said you were in Goodyear, Arizona. I said, is that where they make the tires? You said no, so I'm wondering where that name came from.
I have no idea. I mean, this area is growing like nobody's business. I remember when my mom moved here, I don't know, 13, 14 years ago. It was a nice community surrounded by farmland, and now all you see is apartments and warehouses.
Well, it's still a good place, right, Jason? It's not too bad.
Oh yeah, it's a great place where she lives. She has a lot of good friends out here, so just happy to be here. Happy I could jump on this morning and do a remote live.
Yeah, well, we missed you. You know, whenever you're not here, it's not the same, man. So I'm glad.
It's not the same for me either. It's the highlight of my week to come up and put on a good show and, talk with our guests when we have them.
Well, what's going on in Goodyear? I know Deneen had some shoulder surgery. How is she doing, man?
She's doing really well. We're going to come in on Sunday. We're supposed to fly back. We see the doctor, I think, Wednesday. They're going to take her sutures out. It looks to be healing up really good for for the extensive surgery because they went in and replaced, did a total shoulder replacement.
Yeah, well, I'm glad she's doing better, and glad to see you, man. Like I said, it's always I don't want to say I get bummed out because we always try to keep things positive, but it's not the same whenever we don't have you on, and so I'm glad that you could hop in with us remotely. I mean, who runs the show when you're out of town? You know, both of you guys are gone. Did you put it in the hands of Ricky?
Yeah, Rick's holding down the fort, taking care of the range and stuff like that. We didn't have a whole lot of stuff scheduled, but you know how it is. Something always pops up.
Yeah, is there any? I wanted to ask you real quick. Any shows lined up here over the next couple of weeks? I know you won't be back this weekend until sometime Sunday, but do you have anything?
No, but we've got some classes coming up the weekend of the 16th. We're going to do NRA Basic, and we're going to do Texas LTC on that Sunday.
Okay, well, great, man. I know those classes have been filling up, and want to continue to promote that, and also to continue every show to educate folks. You know, it's not just the classes that Guardian Defense offers. You can go and get LTC training, all those classes, NRA pistol training. It's not just those, though. You guys carry a wide selection of firearms and also ammunition and those things. Maybe educate our viewers, because there's always somebody new that's joining us in the morning. Jason,
right?
A little bit about what you guys do.
Yes, sir. We're a federally licensed firearms dealer. So we sell guns, factory guns. We even do our own builds on AR platform rifles. We do have our range that people can come out and pay a small fee and shoot on it. We have ammo available. We can do special order guns. Sometimes some guns are hard to come by. If you have one that you're really interested in, you can visit our website. We've got a fairly new link called Gallery of Guns, where you can actually go shopping at one of my distributors and order what you're looking for, and it ships straight to me.
Awesome. Well, I always want to give you an opportunity, of course, to highlight the services that you guys offer. It's Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense. You can visit them on their new website at guardiandefensellc.com. Jason, has there been any maybe surprises this week that you've dealt with? You know, we got some rain, and so I just wanted to encourage you, maybe stay gone a little bit longer, because it seems like when you leave, the rain comes, my friend.
That's what I'm saying, man. I saw the weather forecast this morning. It looks like we might get a little more rain today. I'm praying for it, because Lord knows we need it. I mean, we almost burned up this past weekend.
Yeah, well, the good news is, and for those of you joining us this morning, as of last night at 9 p.m., the A&M Forestry Service, some news came out about 9 o'clock saying that the game preserve fire now 100% contained, almost at 5,000 acres. So that's good news this morning.
That's excellent news.
Yeah, and from my understanding, no homes were destroyed, and everybody's safe. All the roads are reopened and everything, and so that's good news. We were keeping up with our friends there. Crabs Prairie Volunteer Fire Department got that whole situation started, you know, taking care of it, and then they brought in the federal help, and so that's a huge thing. You know, Jason, Nathan and I were on our way to Teague, Texas on Friday to broadcast New Waverly, and in the distance we saw this big smoke cloud. Took a picture of it, Nathan did, while we were driving, and man, I thought that's a pretty big grass fire. By the time we came back that night, the whole sky was glowing. Apparently they had parts of 45 closed off, but by the time we rolled back through there close to midnight, it was reopened. But yeah, man, it's scary. You think about this weather and the heat and how dry things are, and it's dangerous.
It really is. Thursday, I went down to a special event for the. It was a skeet shoot down on the south side of Houston. Really, it was in Fort Bend County, right on the line. When we were coming back, man, 18-wheeler blew its tire. The rubber ended up in the grass, and it started the grass on fire. Just the radiant heat. That's how dry it is, guys. We got to be careful.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, I saw a truck driving down. It was on 45 just a couple of days ago, Jason. And I don't think sometimes you realize those little sparks, how critical it is. You know, how quick just a spark can cause a grass fire. There was a trailer that was going down 45, and you know, it was a loading trailer, so it had the metal ramps on it.
Right.
One of the metal ramps was down, barely touching the road, and man, sparks were flying everywhere. You used to drive big trucks, so you know all about this.
Oh yeah. Big trucks really don't have a whole lot of safety chains, but on a consumer type vehicle, bumper pull trailers, guys, twist those chains up. Don't let them drag the ground. I see it a lot in U-Haul trailers. They just hook them up and roll down the road, especially at night. You'll just see, sparks flying everywhere. But when it's this dry, guys, that can start a big fire. Look how quick that fire spread. I mean, it started at 20, 30 acres, and within a matter of an hour, it was hundreds of acres.
Yeah, it's just be careful out there is the big, kind of the big thing. Jason, I wanted to ask you something real quick, and we've got our good friend Chris Brown from Jump Around Moonwalks going to be joining us and just sharing an incredible story of perseverance and his entrepreneurship as well. But before we bring Chris on, Jason Thompson here with us, of course, Guardian Defense, our Tuesday co-host, live this morning on location in Goodyear, Arizona. Jason, I saw a video of an 18-wheeler big truck, and there was fire coming out of the smokestacks. What causes that, man? I've never seen that before.
On a rare occasion, those big diesel motors can run away. There's a malfunction, and no matter what you do, you can turn the ignition off, and that thing is just going to run and run and run. The only way you can really stop it and maybe save that engine is grab your fire extinguisher and put it in the air intake and let her loose.
You ever had to deal with that in all your years of driving big trucks?
No, I didn't have to deal with anything like that. I've seen it, and unfortunately the gentleman didn't get to it quick enough, and he lost his engine.
Yeah, I saw that video, and you're the first guy that I thought of. I said, Jason would know the answer to this question, man.
I'm kind of a well-rounded individual with a lot of life experience.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you being here, Jason. You'll be joining us all morning, and we'll have you in on the conversation as well with Chris. We do want to remind folks this morning, again, let us know what you're thankful for as you're chiming in. A lot of friends already joining us throughout the social media streams. David Boker joining us this morning on YouTube. Good morning to you, David, saying good morning, y'all. Our good friend Clay over at 0 Degree chiming in as well, saying good morning. I love Jennifer and her positive attitude. We need that every single day. That's why we love seeing Jennifer on here. And I like what she calls it. Today, Jason, is always terrific Tuesday, and hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend. Were there any – I know you were traveling, obviously, and there in Arizona. Did you guys get a chance to do anything yesterday, Jason?
No, really didn't do a whole lot yesterday. The Labor Day holiday made getting to the airport quite interesting Saturday evening. There were a lot of accidents, and unfortunately some were fatal. I just urge people, be careful, especially on holidays when you're driving.
Kathy Schweitzer joining us as well, one of our school board trustees with HISD. Good morning to you, Kathy. We always appreciate you joining us. And then Clay over at 0 Degree asked this question, is there any oceanfront property for sale in Arizona?
Not yet, but, on a personal note, it wouldn't hurt me a bit.
Laura Sanchez joining us as well, saying good morning, Huntsville, and also Madison Brown saying good morning also. So we appreciate it. Keep those comments coming in. Again, let us know what you're thankful for. Let us know what you did yesterday. Maybe spent some time with the family. Many of us worked. I was still working a little bit yesterday. My brother put in a 12-hour day yesterday. I talked to him last night. So, but just let us know what you're thankful for again and what you're up to yesterday. Do want to remind you, this week, the keyword, Jason, we got a new keyword up this week, and
I see that.
It is the word tickets. And
I'm jealous.
I'm going to tell you, though, if you don't have any intention of going to the Sam Houston Bearcats game at NRG Stadium in Houston, please don't text in. And if you do win and you don't want them, let us know. But we've got 16 tickets we're giving away the rest of this week, 4 tickets a day. Pretty good section, 102, I believe, row D. It starts with seat.
Oh, man, those are awesome seats.
Yeah, they're the corner seats, lower level, goes all the way from 1 to 16, but we're giving 4 of those away a day, so all 4 will be beside each other. And, again, this week's keyword is tickets along with your name, so text that in on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, if you're interested and you want to go to that game, you'll have to pay for the parking. We're also going to throw in a few other things here, as we always do on our giveaways. But again, this week, once a day, you can text in the word text in the keyword tickets along with your name to 936-339-0139. It is Sam Houston And Jason, the Battle of the Piney Woods may be over, but they're still playing at NRG, a little Air Force action coming up on
Man,
Saturday.
I'm jealous, man. I would love to be home to go see that game.
You can watch it live on national television. CBS Sportsnet will have it.
Oh, trust me, I will be.
I will be in Kingsville broadcasting Texas A&M Kingsville football that night. So a nice little 8-hour swing, 4 hours there, do the game, 4 hours back. But I'll be chiming in on the way back on Sam Houston. So, again,
Awesome.
text it in. Let us know you're out there. We're going to step aside, though. We're going to take a break. Our good friend Chris Brown is in studio, and he will be with us next. Stay with us. A lot more to come as we're just getting started. It's your show, as always, right here on Good Morning Huntsville.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and Orby, and even offer Valami hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why, at the Color Bar Hair Salon, you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
Slow get down right here on a Tuesday. All right, what do you think, Chris? You know, I had you on the phone one time. You were singing to us, man. That was still the highlight of this show.
Hey, it ain't gonna happen again.
Thankful for sunshine. I remember that was the song. There it is. Yeah, see, there it is, dude. Chris Brown joining us this morning. Welcome back in on a Tuesday. A lot of friends joining us throughout the social media world as well. Our good friend, check this out, in Rockdale, Texas, none other than Charlie McGregor joining us this morning, saying, glad you're back, man. Charles, good to see you, and we hope things are going good there in Rockdale. That's a good place. You been through Rockdale?
I don't even know where that's at.
Right off 79, like if you're heading back towards the Austin area. And I try not to go back to that area too much, but obviously family is just north of Austin. But Rockdale, Texas, outside of Taylor, Thorndale, and Thrall. It's
Yes, sir.
It starts to get a little more metropolitan though as you get to Austin. I don't really feel like there's a Houston metro here in Huntsville at all. Do you? I don't really feel like a Houston feel at all. Not in a negative way. I just don't feel a Houston feel here.
No.
The forest filters that out.
Yeah.
So it's
definitely.
it's a good thing. Well, again, Charles, good to see you. Welcome in, and a lot of good friends joining us this morning. We'll bring Jason back on here in just a second, but you know who's in the building? Jump Around Moonwalks. What's up, my friend?
What's up, brother?
Chris Brown joining us today and going to share his story, and excited to have you. And also, we're going to, well, if I keep knocking things around here, I just did something here. There we go. Also, we're going to bring in Mr. Jay Thompson back into the show. Jason, you didn't expect that, did you?
No, I didn't expect you to bring me back so quick.
Popped up there real quick,
Welcome
man.
back.
So I just wanted to get Jason. I wanted to give you a chance since you're not here in person, just to say good morning to Chris.
Good morning, Chris. Man, hadn't seen you in a while, buddy.
Yes, sir. I've been seeing you, but you haven't been seeing me. I've been seeing you on the show.
Well, I've been following you on Facebook, man. You that was pretty awesome what you did a couple days ago, man. Kudos to you, sir.
I appreciate it. Just giving back where we can.
Well, again, Chris Brown joining us this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. Good to have him with us. Jump Around Moonwalks. Chris, you've been in the community, almost 15 years or so, I believe. Came from Navasota, but man, you have made such a positive impact. And this morning we're going to talk about your business, Jump Around Moonwalks. But and man, I just love how you're an open book, because the story that you have to share and what you've dealt with in life is an inspiration to other people, because I know there's other folks that are going through struggles. I always say on this show, we go through a circumstance, but we don't have to be a victim of that circumstance. We can find our way beyond that, and you
Most
have,
definitely.
man. So kind of let us know the story, dig in. I always joke around, say, give us everything but your social security number. But just kidding. But let us know your story, man, and kind of guide us through that journey, Chris.
Well, I appreciate you having me on the show, and I am more than happy to share my story and tell people about it, because one thing I've learned that everybody has a story. Everybody goes through something, and if you don't share that story, then you're not sharing your testimony of as to how you got through that. And today, in today's times, in our nation, it seems to be a dark, dark world. So it's definitely a ray of light to be that shining light to others, if you can be. Even if you just want to put out a little bit about your life, it can be an inspiration. So Jump Around Moonwalks and this whole story and how we got into this started back in about 2006. My parents started a business in Navasota, Texas. It was called Hip Hop Moonwalks. I was in high school at the time. And, I did their deliveries and the pickups and the cleanings and, the stuff that you would make your kids do, not yourself. No, I was playing. And then I learned a lot about it. And once I got out of high school, I went to go work for the state of Texas, like everybody else in Huntsville, at least one point in their life. And, back then it was kind of financially rough with the state, so I started up my very first inflatable business called Family Time Moonwalks. And It was a small operation back then. I had like 2 inflatables, like 20 chairs, 2 tables, and some DJ equipment. I really did it to supplement my income, because at that given point in my life, I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps and try to become like a warden or something above in the prison system. So we navigated through that. Started working for the prison in 2010. By 2015, I had already became a lieutenant by the age of 23, 24 or so, and I guess God had a different plan for me. So moved on from that. Of all things, went to go be a car salesman. That did not turn out the way I thought it would, but I gave it my all for about 2 years. And then that part of my life that I've shared on Facebook is coming up. In 2016, I was in the midst of the car sales, and I just wasn't making any money at it. And it was a very challenging job, but I was trying to give it my all, and I ended up losing everything. I lost my place to live. I was living here in a storage unit in Huntsville, Texas. I had my cars repoed. All my bills went to wayside. I just couldn't even, I could barely even afford to eat. And that was in the midst of or at the peak of my depression at the time. And it just seemed like that world was crumbling around me. But one thing I realized was as I felt it was crumbling around me, I never felt those crumbles ever hit me. I do feel, and you will, if you know me, you know I will attest to God's protection and God's will, and I really felt that that's what was protecting me in that time. So I pushed forward. I pushed past it. We ended up finally finding a job with Huntsville Discount Wrecker here in Huntsville, Texas. Shout out to Brian Bass and Kendra Bass with them. They were a saving grace at that point in my life, and they really didn't even know it. They were looking for something special for them, but really I found something special for me, and that job allowed me to push forward and start Jump Around Moonwalks in 2019.
Again, Chris Brown joining us and sharing his story. And Chris, when you think of that, having to go through a situation and I mean, literally living in a storage unit, and you've been open about this and the car sales industry, and that's a tough one to be in. And, you battled depression, but you always said you always felt you didn't feel the crumbles hitting you. God's protection was already over you. Maybe there's somebody today, and that's why we have this show, to lift up our community and to lift up other people. I mean, literally folks from not even just Huntsville, but quite literally throughout the world listening, also joining us this morning on the Spirit Radio FM app that needs to hear a message of hope and encouragement. When you're in the middle of that storm, what was going through your mind? I mean, did you feel like, hey, I'm gonna get out of this. I know God's gonna take care of me. What helped you get through that whole storm?
Really just the perseverance and the trust. You have to have trust in the Lord. So many people in today, and a lot of Christians too, are very scared to put that trust in something else besides themselves, because they feel like they want to be in control. They feel like they want to guide their own path. And a lot of times I found out in life that the path that I thought I would set out for myself, I never ended up going down that path. It always ended up going down God's will, and it always ended up being 20 times better than what I thought I had set out for myself. So as it crumbled around me, I put my trust in Him, and I let go and let God.
What advice would you have, and maybe it is that what you just said, let go, let God, but what advice would you have for someone who's maybe in a similar situation, but right now they just feel like there's no way out? What would you tell that person to say, hey, there is a way out just like me? What advice would you have for them?
The perfect advice that I think I would give to that person is surround yourself with the most positive and progressive group of people that you can find. Take yourself out of that bad environment. My environment was not the same as a lot of other people's in those times of need. Sometimes people can be surrounded by an environment of maybe it be domestic abuse, maybe it be alcoholism, it could be drugs, it could be just anything. Take yourself out of that environment by all means necessary, and find yourself a group. My group was at Family Faith Church, and my group was finding my wife and my kids and my mother and my brother and all the people that I needed to put around myself to get myself out of that hole, because that hole is a very deep one.
I think it's incredible too, and you've been open about this on social media, but just restoration even within family is so important. There may be, someone out there this morning that hasn't talked to someone in their family for 20 years, but you're an example too of just God's faithfulness and you being faithful and seeing relationships restored, family restored. Maybe if you're okay and comfortable, talk a little bit about just the restoration in your life as well.
Most definitely. So in reference to that, growing up, in respect to my mother and my father, things were rocky. I think, to put it simply, a demon had a hold of our family for a very long time. And when I say demon, I mean like depression and anxiety and a lot of things that can drive family members apart. So yes, for a very long time with my father, I had a rocky relationship, and for a period of 7 years, I did not talk to him. And then same thing with my mother. We had a rocky relationship. But there was a period for a little over a year that I did not talk to her. And although it was in those times that I did also find my darkest moments because I needed my mother and my father, just like everybody does. I was just talking to my wife yesterday and telling her that I personally believe that a study would probably show that 90% of people's trauma derives from problems in their own home growing up with their parents. So if you can just have a parent that is there for you, doesn't have to be perfect, but just be there for you, and you'll get through a whole lot more than you think. So within these past 2 years, really, really found my relationship with God. I truly did. More than I ever had, like a best friend. And in those 2 years, I was able to, well, actually within the past year, I was able to rekindle my relationship with my father, rekindle my relationship with my mother. And guys, I have been on top of the world. I felt like I have conquered everything that ever held me back. You cannot see me running around town now trying to mope and slope and cry, because it ain't going to happen. I have my family, I have my God, I have my friends, and the rest is history.
Yeah, nobody's putting up the barrier anymore, and I think it's incredible, Chris. Just there's someone out there this morning, I believe, that needed to hear that. I've experienced situations with people that I know that haven't talked to family members for 20 years, and I always say it like this, and there's a lot of backstory to what happens in families, and some of the most traumatic, worst things that you can imagine that you and I have never even came close to facing with what some folks have had to deal with in families. But I will say this, that there's still an opportunity for restoration through Christ. And I love you sharing that this morning, just because there's people hurting. And I've always said at the end of the day, yeah, there's some bad things that have happened to people. And some of that I understand. Like, that's done. That's kind of, that's the limb in your body that's amputated. It's no longer there. And I get that when that happens. There's some very horrible stuff that happens in family. I'm not telling you to go run back into a situation. But if it's something small, if it's something that, maybe it had a huge influence, but then in the grand scheme of things, was it really worth it? I always say this, when we're living our final moments and taking our last breaths, you always hear of people that are still cognitive and coherent, that still are in good mind in these situations, that at that moment will say, man, I forgive you, or please forgive me. And maybe that's where you're at today. So think about that, not being morbid, but think about if it was your last breath, would the things that happen to you matter in the grand scheme of things? And if they really don't, then I encourage you to pick up the phone and call that person and just rekindle. Most importantly, as you said, have a relationship with Jesus, man. Pray
Right.
about it. I think so many times I heard a message this Sunday, Chris, that, and I'm guilty of this, that we don't turn in prayer first. Sometimes it seems like it's the last thing we do when it should be the first thing that we do.
Yes.
Your faith has been a big part of your journey, and it's incredible, and I'm glad you're sharing this story this morning. But the business has been doing extremely well, and tell us a little bit about Jump Around Moonwalks. And I like the name Hip Hop Moonwalks, though, because because my last name is Hip. I was like, man, sell me a franchise, and I'll call that one Hip Hop Moonwalks.
Yeah.
But tell us about the success of your business, man, and just how it's been. I know there's been some roller coaster there, but once again, you've persevered through adversity.
Yeah, so like I said, we started back in 2019. That first year, I juggled, working for Snags Record Service, and doing this also, and then just trying to make that dream become true. But after that first year, I was able to go full time with it, and we made it happen. The biggest thing about business that I've realized is that actually, the biggest thing about anything in life worth having does not come at an easy task. Everything, whether it's losing weight or getting a certain job or running a business, it all comes with a lot of hours, hard work, blood, sweat, tears, and I promise you, I've given all of those in this industry. I spend, every day researching something new. How can I make myself better? How can I push this forward? How can we give back to the community? And one of the leading equations of success, I believe, is the more you give back to your community, the more that they'll give back to you. And don't be scared to put your business name on it, because that is your livelihood. That's how you provide for your family. So put your business name on it. Put it out there, be vulnerable to the community, and I promise you, they'll take care of you. You will have a couple, bumps in the road of different people that, want to tarnish your image. I think that as long as you do everything that you're absolutely supposed to do, and you take care of your customers, and you take care of your community and your business, it will all pan out. I promise that.
Okay, and Chris Brown joining us this morning, showing a little bit of clips there for those of you that are on the social media feeds on the video side of the website at Jump Around Moonwalks. You can go online at jumparoundmoonwalks.com. Tell us, Chris, a little bit more about the business itself, not just the bounce houses, but you have just brought in a whole plethora of different, you're kind of the one-stop party shop now here in Huntsville.
Right.
Man.
So we're trying to be that one-stop shop, because I've realized over the years that there are a lot of moving parts for a parent to put a party together, or any event coordinator in any capacity trying to put an event together. So with that being realized, we've introduced a lot of things other than just inflatables to our business. We have tables, chairs, margarita machines, snow cone machines, and a whole plethora of things. And for now, the things that we don't specifically put our hands on and provide, we create good relationships with other companies around Walker County or in the counties that the customers are asking for. That way, if I don't have it, I can get it for you. And if I still don't have it, I'm going to find it for you. That way I can make it that much easier on you. And that's just a service. That's just good service. I think anybody would appreciate that anywhere that you go. Just like one of the episodes that I saw not that long ago, it reminded me about the rodeo. And she made a statement that if we don't have it on our menu, we will make it. And I was like, see, that right there, that is a good business, because, everybody knows, like, people can be very picky with their foods. And if you don't see it and she's willing to make it, hands down, you're going to be going there for the rest of your life, because you know that they'll take care of you. So.
And you better tip that lady 50%.
Yeah, you better tip.
Not just the 20. Well, Chris Brown again joining us this morning, the owner and founder of Jump Around Moonwalks, sharing his incredible story of just faith and perseverance, and now a successful business. And I love what you said the other day when we talked, and the article with Chris just came out on our website yesterday. You can go to hellohuntsvilletx.com to read more about the story. But I love what you said. It's not just a business. It's about leaving a legacy for generations to come. Explain a little bit more about that, Chris.
Yeah, so I heard something the other day, and I might mess up my words here a little bit, but it was something about, in God's will or in God's testament that he would like for you to leave your children's children an inheritance. So 2 parts for the business, one for my family and one for the community. I am trying for the community. I want to become, I think any business would like to become a household name. I want to become that household name for Walker County. And that is generational wealth there. If I can build something that I can pass on to my kids and their kids and their kids, then we become that household name, because we've given back year after year, generation after generation, where people can trust to continue to use us. And then for my kids, I always said that I don't want to leave back a monetary inheritance. I want to leave back something that can truly sustain their livelihood, and not ever allow them to struggle like I felt like I did at certain times in my life. And if they did, hey, Daddy's right there to take care of you. But that's basically what I was saying. Just a generational wealth and a community inheritance.
Chris, something else that you did too. I mean, giving back is so important. We don't give back because it makes us feel good. We don't. Although that is something that happens, but that's not why we do it. We don't give back because hey, look at what I'm doing. We give back because that's what we're called to do in life. And something touched your heart the other day where you just thought, man, some folks need help with groceries. And you put this thing out on social, and it kind of took off like wildfire.
Yes,
and
it
you
did.
guys were able to bless several families in need. Tell us a little bit more about that, and just how the communities came together around this idea that you've had.
Yeah, that was a total win. Definitely proud moment of that moment. And we've done many things like that before. But basically, what I felt upon my heart to do is I wanted to bless one family with $200 worth of groceries. And so I put out that post because, it's hard. You can look at everybody in today's world. You can pass somebody on the street. You never know what they're going through. So you don't. It's kind of hard sometimes just to prospect like who needs this. So I put it on a social media platform, and I did feel with the amount of followers that we have and the following that we received that maybe it would inspire. And boy, did it. It turned from one $200 donation from me to one family to $1,500 total, feeding and providing for over 7 families.
Yeah, that's great. I'm seeing some photos here just on your Facebook page, and just the groceries that you bought, and we're able to bless those families. I mean, just incredible. Friends, this is what it's all about, and this is what I love about Huntsville, and what I love about this community, and guys such as Chris, because that is the heart of Huntsville and the good Lord at work. And this is what I'm talking about. Think about what you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Are you eating? If you're eating, then you've got it better than a lot of people do.
Right.
Are you under a roof? Then you've got it better than a lot of people do. Think about those in our community, especially that are less unfortunate. I know that all over the world, and we're called to make an impact wherever we go. Well, guess what? We're right here. We're here right now, and there's people in this community that have needs. And Chris, you've met that need and continue to meet it. And this is something now that's just going to continue on. It's not going to be a one and done type deal. And you've provided that spark. The Holy Spirit spoke to you, and now these families are being blessed.
Yeah, I truly feel like the impact that you can make upon your community can definitely be shared over and over and over. Over the years, it's something I just realized the other day, Rob, is that I truly feel like over the years I've created such a voice on Facebook. I'm not trying to sound conceited or anything right now, but I created such a voice over social media and an impact that, posting something very simple and you can get a lot of feedback from it. And I used to think that may be for business purposes to try to get me out of that situation. But what I realized over the years was that I believe that truly was God's calling, that I believe that He took me out of that position that I was in a few years ago and said, son, all right, I will get you out of this position, but I need you to carry on my word. And so I believe that that's what it's truly coming down to. So, yes, you can put one thing on social media and spark that inspiration, and who knows what kind of impact. So don't feel afraid to do that. I know I'm not, and I'm going to continue to do that. This really inspired me to see what else we can push for. And I made a promise to God a long time ago that if He did get me out of that position, that I would give back everywhere I could. Everything that I was dealing with, I want to give back to those same type of people, those same type of families. So who knows what we can, achieve next. Food, somebody's rent, somebody's light bill. The possibilities are endless.
I want to encourage folks today, just as Chris has had this calling over his life. Today, I know many of you are being tugged out right now, saying, what can I do to help out? And so even if it's a random act of kindness, and that's something we're going to start promoting, because now you put the spark in us here on Good Morning Huntsville. But every morning, we're going to start encouraging folks, go out every day and do something for somebody, whether it's something really simple. And it's okay to talk about it, because it's not, here's the deal, too. And I used to be this person that would say, oh, there's so-and-so again, trying to look at what I'm doing. Here's the deal. If folks don't want to talk about it, that's okay. But when you do, it sparks a fire for somebody else to go do it.
Exactly.
If Chris had not shared, and it wasn't about Chris, it was about saying, look at what we collectively as a community have done, because we all have a circle of influence. And if you had not posted that picture of you with that family, with that older gentleman and his wife, I guarantee that more people wouldn't have hopped on board. It's because they saw that, and there's an emotional connection to that. And now it's saying, okay, now I need to go out and help a family like this.
Right.
And so if there's something that you do, I'm not telling you to go blast it everywhere, but I am telling you it's okay to share it. Don't feel pulled back by saying, oh, I don't know if I want to share that because I don't want to make it seem like it's about me. If it's done in the right context, like how Chris is doing it, it's not about you. It's getting other people on board. And so I'm going to encourage you this morning to think about how can you bless somebody else? How can you make a difference in somebody else's life? And then I want to encourage you to come back tomorrow on the show in the comments and tell us, hey, this is what happened. You don't have to go into details, and we're not making it all about you. But I think the more that we share these things that are happening, it's going to spark this community to get out and do more. And like I said, I'm not asking you to go create a documentary video, but I am telling you, share that story, share that experience, because it's going to inspire others to do it. And there's going to be some things that you do that you don't want to talk about, and that's okay. And there's going to be some people that you'll help out that says, I don't want that to be out there. That's okay. But if you feel in your heart that it's okay and the person that you're helping is okay, put a picture out there, put a comment out there, tell the story, because it's going to get all of us a little bit more fired up about helping.
Oh, most definitely. And you can, there is an etiquette behind it. I definitely agree with everything that Rob is saying, that, it's kind of weird to broadcast what kind of good deed that you're doing for the community or for a person. And you don't, like I said, with the etiquette, you don't have to, create a video of you holding $1 in front of a homeless person's face and saying, hey, I'm helping you out, I'm a good person. It's not anything such as that. But, let's say the alternative is that you can put a post out and say, hey, here recently I noticed this group of homeless people that are really down on their luck, and you create some inspiration, and who knows what you can, the community can do, for that group or for that family or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And if anybody needs any guidance in that, I'm not a professional, but, I would love to put my hand in where I can help out, because I don't aspire to be anything else other than helpful and giving and loving back to the people of the world, because we all know that today's world is pretty scary, and you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. You can change your household, how you raise your kids, and if you put that, just a little bit of that out there for people to see, you can spark a lot of inspiration, and who knows what somebody else might do in their household from now on because of what they saw from you.
That's so good, Chris, and such a good word this morning. Again, Chris Brown from Jump Around Moonwalks joining us. I'll share a story. Just a few days ago, there was an elderly lady behind me in a fast food line that I was at. And obviously, I try to get that camera on that right side, but, I need to lay off the fast food a little bit. But I'm telling you, man, some places like Arby's, that sandwich goes down with that Arby's sauce sometimes. What do they call that sauce? That it's like horsey sauce. It goes down pretty hard, man. But there was a lady behind me at a fast food restaurant the other day, and I could tell it was an older lady, and she was in her truck, and she was just like this. She had her hand, and you could just tell, and I saw her in the rearview mirror, and you could just tell that there was something eating at her that day, and she just looked defeated. And, not to broadcast and say, hey, look what I did, but you know what? I said, pay for that lady's meal behind me. It was like $8. I don't care what the price was.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you never know. Maybe that lady, that one act of kindness is now, that may have changed her life. And I think about the end result a lot, about what we do. I know that when you go from A to Z, there's B through Y, but I don't see B through Y, I see Z. And what I'm getting at is, the end result sometimes may be that you just saved that person's life because they were having such a terrible time. And that one thing was that one thing that they had been praying for. And God interceded and said, hey, I've put my Holy Spirit in you to do this. And now that person's life, through the power of Christ, has been saved because I worked through you to provide for that person. Right. One simple thing, one simple hug, one simple thank you, one simple you're beautiful. All of that makes a difference.
Yeah, most definitely. It don't even have to be a monetary thing. If you just see anybody, and you don't even have to prospect to people that you feel are going through something. You can just literally put your hands upon anybody, because as you know, we all want to live like Jesus did. We all want to bless the world. We all want to do good things, and let's say it's somebody that's in a good position in their life. They're not struggling, and they're doing great. But even if you put your hand upon them and give them a good day, what kind of impact could they make? Because, one shining person can shed light upon 20 people without. And so no matter who it is, what it is, spread that love.
Speaking of someone who spreads a lot of love, I'm going to bring Jason Thompson back into the conversation of Guardian Defense. He's hanging out backstage with us here. And so, Jason, let me figure out how to pop you back on here. I've got a lot clicking through.
There we go.
Yeah, Jason back with us. I know you've been back there listening, Jason, and I know that you guys don't do this for the recognition, but I think of guys like you, Jason, and your family. I mean, simple things. You've helped me move 5 times with the up and coming Guardian Defense Moving Company. But I know that's
that's a big joke. But man, we help anybody where we can and when we can.
Jason, and why is that, for you, man, the giving heart that you guys have? You don't do it for the recognition of you, but why is that something that's so important to you and your family? Because you do, man. You're always helping people. What really sparks that in y'all's life, and why is that so important?
Man, I like to help people. I've always been the type of person that likes to help people when I can and when they're in need. So the feeling that I get from being able to help someone, whether it's you or a complete stranger, that's what I do it for, because it makes me feel good inside. There's a lot of things I do. I'm not big on the social media thing, and I just kind of like to stay behind the scenes. I think what Chris does and the way he helps people is great. Kudos to you, man. What you're doing is awesome. That's all I really have on that subject, buddy.
Yeah. Well, now you know what's going to happen is, now there's going to be 20 people in the community that we're going to hear stories, and it's not even going to be on this show. We're going to start hearing stories from people in our passing, in our conversations. That's what I love about life too. When we cross paths with somebody, we have the ability to share stories. And I think about it too, again, going from A to Z instead of all the stuff in between. What's that story that's on your mind today that you're going to tell a complete stranger? Think about that. Really deeply think about that today. What's the story today? And it doesn't even have to be a book, a chapter book. It can be one sentence. But what's that one word? What's that one sentence? What's that one thing that's on your heart today that you're going to impact with a stranger? I was talking to a good friend, Linda, the other day, and literally they go up, and she ended up like leading a guy to the Lord at the gas station. And you never know, like, how's that conversation? How did that start? I need to be like Linda. I'm thinking about her and just going up to a guy, and the guy started crying, and she was sharing the story with me. I'm sitting there thinking, my goodness, this was a complete stranger just passing through town. The guy's bawling his head, and an older gentleman too. We're talking probably in his 60s, I think she said. He gets on the phone and calls his wife. You never think about that impact that you're going to make on somebody with that one word, that one sentence. And Jason, you've seen that. In all the things that you do and through your business, and it's just incredible the impact that we have to make on other people, Jason. And like I said, you're doing that every day in your business and giving back just like Chris, man.
Oh yeah, we don't miss an opportunity to give back when we can. With that being said, I've been keeping some under my hat. Guys, pay attention to us on social media. We've got something coming up, and a lot of the proceeds are going to go to a great organization that I just feel the need I feel that they could use some help, and we're going to do a little event coming up in the future. I'm going to partner with another local business and try to raise some funds and make a donation, guys.
That's great. So just follow you guys on Guardian Defense social media, correct?
Yeah. Follow us on there, see what's coming up. We're trying to finalize some plans on it. It's going to be when the weather cools off, because it's going to be out on the range, shooting some guns and having a good time.
There you go. That sounds like a good time. So, well, again, Chris, appreciate you, and of course Jason there with us today. He is back in Goodyear, Arizona. When you heard the word Goodyear, did you think of tires also?
I did.
That's marketing at work, man. You know, we got to figure out how to name a town like Jump Around, Texas, and then people would think of Jump Around Moonwalks, man.
Yeah, don't get me started. I'll do it.
Chris again joining us. Just a couple of final questions here before we let you go, Chris, and appreciate you, man, and just, you know, one thing about Chris is completely transparent and genuine and honest, and I love that about you, man. And I think we all need to strive to be more like Chris every day. I'm not telling you to go out and put every single thing that's in your life out there. I'm not saying that you do, Chris, but what I am saying is get up, make a difference. As I always say every day on this show, that you may be in a circumstance. You don't have to be a victim of that circumstance. Just like Chris, he found a way out through his faith. And so I want to encourage you this morning to think about that as you go on about your day. Chris, some other things that you guys do I wanted to bring up. And I know that you partner up quite a bit with Justin Killingsworth. Justin's a great guy and love having him on the show with us on Thursdays there with the Color Bar. But the Sunday Fun Day, is that coming back, or are you doing more of those?
Yeah, so we've definitely narrowed it down to 2 dates a year, one for Easter and one for Christmas, because we have the Easter Bunny, and we also have a Santa. This year it's December 10th at the Color Bar parking lot in Huntsville, Texas. That's the same parking lot that we always use and will continue to use until we outgrow. It's just a fun little get-together festival that we do where you can take pictures with Santa. We have a whole inflatable play area for kids to play in, and face painters. And this year we're going to have a live music. We'll have a bunch of vendors. And that's one thing I love about this festival, is giving back to other small businesses and creating an opportunity for them to get their name out there. So you'll see a bunch of pop-up tents out there with every business under the sun, all the way from, small stay-at-home mom operations to big, operations like we've had like Cricket Wireless out there and so on and so forth. So, if you're definitely interested, please let me know. It's one thing that I look forward to every year is doing that, because it's so much fun for all of us.
You know what I love that you said, Chris, and you didn't even realize this? Maybe you did, but you're a dreamer also, and I love this about you. As you said, that we're going to keep using it until we outgrow it. It was not if we outgrow it, it's until we outgrow it. And that's like a story that I heard years ago of a pastor and some folks that I know down in the Houston area, that their daddy they had this small building, and their daddy used to point around and say, one day this is going to be filled. Can you see it, son? Can you see it? We're going to have an auditorium that seats several thousand people. And that was just what God put in his heart. There's nothing wrong with that. That was what he was dreaming. And then that came to pass. And his son was sharing the story saying, we used to come out to this field, and I thought Daddy was crazy, because he'd point around and he would point to, over here is going to be this and this and this. And then the next scene of this film that they had was he walked into the building. He goes, and here's everything that Daddy used to talk about, and it's here now. Yeah. And, it's just incredible. When we dream, there's things that can happen, and there's ideas, and don't give up on those ideas and those dreams. Just like you, Chris, man, you have a dream to build this generational wealth through your business, and it could be something simple. You could have a jewelry store. You could be making earrings for somebody, but your dream is you want to be the best earring maker that there's ever been. There's nothing wrong with dreaming about that. When we came back to Huntsville, our dream was to inspire and uplift the community through some of the few talents that I had, just being able to live stream. And don't ever feel, and I had naysayers, just like you said, man, there's always going to be people that come into your life. They're going to say that's not going to work. I'll never forget. And it's nothing negative towards this person, but they told me, they said, how are you going to fill that show every single day in Huntsville, Texas? And they weren't from here, but they knew about the community. And I said, what do you mean? They go, how are you going to have guests on there every day? Well, here we are, episode 106, and we've had guests on every day because there's 450 nonprofits in our community, and there's more than 365 people in Huntsville, Texas. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a story. Everybody has something that they can share to lift up this community. And maybe that's where you're at today. You feel inadequate. You don't think that your story, that your voice matters. I got news for you. It does. And you could be in an audience of one person or 100 people. your story is going to make a difference in that person's life.
Yep,
So
that's what it takes.
it's good stuff. Chris Brown again, Jump Around Moonwalks.
Appreciate
Do you ever have the song jump around, jump around?
Okay, so that's not to go off on a tangent here, but I want to mention Darren McLean. Back in 2011 when I had my first business, one of the coolest little things that I liked was his business was called Amazing McLean's Moonwalks. And every time you called his phone, he had that little ringtone I think it's from Kanye West. It's so amazing, so amazing. And so whenever I created my business name 4 years ago, I was like, I don't know if I can still get that, like those ringtones to be done on phones nowadays, but I want that jump around. And I know my wife's rolling her eyes right now, but that's okay because I like the song.
There you go, man. Chris Brown, you can go find him online, their website, jumparoundmoonwalks.com, and you can call Chris. And just give him a call. Maybe you've got an idea for something that you'd like to do in the community and you didn't know who to call. Call Chris. I'm sure he'll collaborate. He'll figure out something. He'll help you. And maybe you can work alongside each other as well. That's the kind of heart that Chris has. So, again, appreciate you being here. Madison, by the way, was saying don't get him started on that dang song, LOL. So there you go. Well, friends, we appreciate you. We're going to step aside and take another break. Before we do, though, I want to remind you this week's keyword, tickets. Do you ever get out to any of the Sam Houston games, Chris?
Oh, man, I haven't been to one yet, but there's always a first time for everything.
Yeah, so if maybe you're in that seat, you said, I haven't been to one. Well, NRG Stadium, where, of course, the Houston Texans play, as much as I don't like saying that because I'm a Cowboys fan. 27 years we've been waiting for a Super Bowl. It's happening this year. 27 years I've been saying it. You can text in the keyword tickets alongside your name. Again, final opportunity this morning. We're about to call our winner here in just a few moments. But again, the keyword tickets. We've got 4 tickets we're giving away every day the rest of this week. And you can text that in on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Man, every time I say that, Randolph, I'm getting hungry, man. His trailer's right down the street now. You know, it used to be out over by Smiley's here.
Oh, really?
And now he's moving it right over next to the nail salon right here downtown. But text that number in alongside your name, and the word tickets. It's got to have tickets in it. 936-339-0139 is the number. Again, 936-339-0139. You can text every day, once a day, for your chance to win. 4 tickets, just got to pay for the parking. But the tickets, section 102, row D, we've got seats 1 through 16. It's going to be cool because if all 16 people show up, we're giving away these tickets. It's going to be like the Hello Huntsville row there at the game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
We're going to give you some Hello Huntsville shirts, too. You know, we'll give those away as well. So for now, though, we're going to step aside, take a break. I'll bring Jason back on, and we'll wrap it up in our final segment. What's it the National Day of? When we come back, stay with us. As always, it's your show here on a Tuesday, brought to you by Guardian Defense.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 $100,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover tomorrow's promise Montessori schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and Orby, and even offer Valami hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why, at the Color Bar Hair Salon, you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
Welcome back at it, friends, here on Good Morning. Well, man, Jason, that
There we go.
that camera there zoomed in way too much on me, buddy.
Yeah, it did. I was sitting there going, man, Rob really wants a close-up shot this morning.
Oh, man. No, not today, man. But we are here holding it down with surround sound. Welcome back in on a terrific Tuesday, as our good friend, Miss Jennifer Augustinetti, always says. We appreciate her and her positivity. We need that in our community. We've got it here. And, man, what an incredible story this morning from Chris, Jason. You know, I know he shared his story probably with you as well in some of our groups that you and I are both mutual part of. But, man, it's just encouraging to hear that, to know that you could be in this extremely dark, unfortunate situation and then rise above that. And I love what Chris said. That's going to stick with me, is he said that even though things around my life were crumbling, I didn't feel the crumbles. Man, that's powerful, Jason.
It really is. And, you know, each time, and I've heard Chris's story, you know, a couple times before, but each and every time, you know, it's a moving story. You know, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's awesome, man, and we appreciate having him on. Maybe you'd like to be on the show. You've got a story to share. There's something that you've been through, or you know of somebody that you think would be great on the show. Reach out to us. You can always text us. You can call us at 936. Man, you're going to get me lying. 339-0139 is the number. Again, 936-339-0139. It only took me 6 months to remember that number, Jason. But you can always
only
call.
6. You're doing great for 6 months.
6 months. There's still some numbers that I don't know, like my mom's cell phone number, because I just have it in the phone. Technology has made us kind of numb to some of this stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's made us a little lazy on remembering phone numbers anyway.
Yeah, man. Well, we do have a winner that the randomizer has selected. 4 tickets. We're giving them away every day this week. Row D, Section 102 at NRG Stadium. And let's head over to the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line and call our first winner here this morning.
Hello.
Good morning. This is Rob from Hello Huntsville. Who are we speaking with?
This is Burnett.
Tara Burnett, winner, chicken dinner. Congratulations. You have won 4 tickets to NRG Stadium.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, our randomizer picked you this morning, so thanks for texting in. Are you going to be able? First question is, are you going to be able to make it to the game?
Of course I am. It's the Air Force and Sam Houston,
All
both
right.
worlds.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that journey continues. Tara Burnett over at Hart's Veterans Museum. And Tara, we need to get you on the show sometime soon because you guys have an event coming up. And also our friend Jamie Saucier has some incredible woodwork that he's created. We didn't want to give away. He has a veterans plaque, and we did not want to give that away just to anybody. So we're going to have a special veterans giveaway as well. And I'll call you and partner up with you on that sometime. But Tara, congratulations. 4 tickets to NRG Stadium to watch Sam Houston battle Air Force. I expect there's going to be a pretty good crowd. What are you looking forward to in that game, Tara?
Well, I just think it's going to be amazing to see our Bearcats play at NRG and to see the Air Force playing against us for the first time. I think the camaraderie with the veterans is going to be wonderful.
Yeah. Well, before I let you go, you guys are planning on an event coming up. Can you tell us briefly a little bit about that event?
Yes. So our biggest fundraiser of the year is September 16th. It's our annual muster festival. It's where we get together and we celebrate all of our active duty, our veterans, our first responders, and our correctional staff. We are adding this year, and when I come on, I'll make sure your group knows all about it.
Perfect. Well, I'll send you a text link because I'll need to get some information to email those tickets over to you, and then I'll also send you a calendar link to where you can easily just select a day that works for you to be on the show. How does that sound?
That sounds great, Rob. Looking forward to it.
All right, there she is, Tara Burnett. And congratulations, Tara, once again, there from Hart's Veterans Museum. Pretty cool, Jason. Man, I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm super jealous, man. I would be texting in right now, but I don't fly in till Sunday.
Yeah, man, we're going to be, like I said, I'll be at Texas A&M Kingsville, and so obviously won't be able to attend that game. I had to zoom out, man. That camera was right up in my face, dude.
Yeah, now everybody can see you playing on your phone.
Yeah, well, I'm looking up here, Jason. Before we go, hey, check this out, man. Today, it's kind of my day. I try to be on time for stuff, but today is National Be Late for Something Day today.
Well, that didn't work out as usual, Rob, you know?
Yeah, I was more on time this morning. September 5th, National Be Late for Something Day. It permits us to not abide by our schedules. Go ahead and sleep in a little bit today as you have an excuse, although you'll probably get fired if you have a job that you have to be at 8 o'clock. This holiday aims to promote the positive parts of procrastination. Man, this is everything that this show is against. For example, those who focus more on spending quality time with customers and family versus being punctual seem less anxious overall. So there is a little bit of a science behind this. Here is Les Wass. Hey, Jason, there's a club called the Procrastinators Club of America.
No way.
Yes, Les Wass is the founder of this. He is quoted saying, "Most people think they don't have time to stop and smell the roses. This day tries to alleviate that factor." Again, the Procrastinators Club of America.
Good Lord.
Man, I'm reading on here. This is from National Day Calendar, by the way. It certainly may be hard for some of us to do as we are taught to be punctual at all times. We're also trained to obey rules and follow regulations and schedules. In today's busy lifestyles, the pressure to be here and there causes us to watch the clock. The observance urges us to ditch the clock for the day. Not only that, but to forgive those who don't live by the clock. Consider those you know who are perpetually late. Do they seem stressed by their lateness? Yes, I do. Do they seem stressed there, or do they tend to shrug it off to your further annoyance? Attempt their lighthearted approach to time. So I encourage you, don't take advantage of this day today. Be on time, and you know what? Schedule time to smell the roses, Jason, and you'll be fine.
There you go. That's a better idea.
Also today is National Cheese Pizza Day. You know what, man? I never go to, Little Caesars. I went over there yesterday and got that lunch special. It was pretty good. I want to be honest. I had the cheese lunch special. Are you a cheese pizza guy, Jason?
I like pizza. Just on my little journey I'm on right now, that's one of those things that I'm choosing not to eat.
Hey, what if you had the cauliflower crust pizza? Because that is healthy and it's good.
Man, I'm just not a fan of cauliflower.
You know what's I'm not either, but I went over to Fat Boy's Pizza. They have the cauliflower crust, and it doesn't even taste like cauliflower. It tastes like bread.
Really? I may give it a try one day.
Can you eat cheese right now on this?
Oh yeah, I can eat all the cheese I want.
Okay, well then what I'm going to do one day, because I don't want to mess you up, I don't want to be a stumbling block. I'm gonna get cauliflower crust cheese pizza and see if you like it. How does that sound, man?
Man, I'll try it. That sounds great.
Someone was chiming in. Zerby saying, "My kind of day, the procrastination day." She's on Facebook. She said, "Hello, Mister." She loves the procrastination day. So good stuff, man. Hey, I got to also mention Bridget had joined us a little bit earlier. Love you, sweetheart. Good to hear from you. And some other friends before we go. My sister saying good morning, Huntsville. Matthew Johnson was saying good morning, guys. Good morning to you, Matthew.
Good morning, Matthew.
I love I didn't even see this. Tara had actually commented in as well. She said, this community wants to help. They look for ways to do it. We are truly blessed to live here. Yes, we are.
We are.
Miss Markham joining us saying good morning. Stacy Lawler joining, saying good morning. A lot of other friends. Randolph Thompson over at Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine saying good morning. He said, John 4, the well is deep. David offered the water up to God even when he was thirsty. God bless you all. Well, God bless you, man. And, hey, an old friend of mine, Stephen Giorgio, joining. Call me by my real first name, Robin. So there it is. Good morning, Steve. I always know when it's like old school whenever they actually say my real first name out there, Jason. And then finally, the Brisket Syndicate, man, I'm starting to get hungry, saying I love the cauliflower crust pizza. I told you, Jason, it's good, man.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot, man.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up. Jason, tell us, I know you mentioned at the beginning, what does the rest of your week look like? You're going to be back with us when, on Sunday?
Yeah, well, I'm going to fly. We leave here pretty early their time, Sunday morning, get in middle of the afternoon Sunday, and then, have the glorious drive from Hobby Airport back to Huntsville.
Good deal. A little bit of rain in the forecast today. We had a brief shower yesterday, about a 30% chance today of just one of those pop-up showers. So we hope that wherever you're at, you get it. I know we all need it, but hopefully you'll get it today. And as a reminder, the Game Preserve wildfire has burned almost 5,000 acres north of town, but thankfully at 100% containment as of 9 p.m. last night. So we appreciate all of our first responders. Crabs Prairie Volunteer Fire Department was keeping folks updated, and all of those that were involved in those efforts, and then turning it over to the federal level. I know the state was out there doing some stuff, Texas A&M Forestry Service, so we sincerely appreciate you. Those guys were out there, Jason, helicopters and planes, I mean, literally just flying over every single 30 seconds, it felt like, dumping water, pulling it out.
Oh, yeah.
And they did an incredible job getting that thing under control.
Yeah, I have an app on my phone where I can watch that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir. Well, buddy, appreciate you, man. And looking
yeah,
forward.
Man, you have a great day, man.
You too. You got a ride back from the airport?
Yeah, I've got a vehicle parked down there.
Okay. Well, I told you, if you ever need a ride, man, it gives me an excuse to get out of the house for an hour. So you holler at me if you ever need a ride down to the airport.
Yes, sir, I will.
All right. Well, there he is again, Jason Thompson, Guardian Defense. Have a great day, my friend. And we appreciate Jason. That'll wrap it up here on the show today. We appreciate you spending time with us, little extra minutes on this one here on a Tuesday, maybe to make up a little bit from yesterday as we just had a rerun episode. Big thank you to Karen, though, at Walker County Federal Credit Union. And here today, of course, Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense. Friends, show continues on throughout the rest of this week. We do have some availability as well to be on the show. Tomorrow, though, we do not have availability. Randolph Thompson will be joining us from Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine, telling the story of his business and his faith. We're excited to have Randy on. And then we do have a couple of spots the rest of the week. If you'd like to be on the show, we are booking up next week already as well. But just reach out to us. You can text us at 936-339-0139. That'll wrap it up here on a Tuesday, friends. We appreciate you. Big thanks to Paul Oley of the Gallery, and also, of course, Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers for sponsoring our studio, and then Jason Thompson and the Thompson family of Guardian Defense. As I end every single broadcast, I want to remind you this morning, Huntsville, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until next time, good morning, and God bless wherever you may be. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you back at it here bright and early tomorrow at 7 a.m.